Greetings everyone and welcome back to Milestone Health with me, Dr. Mokera J. Nyamache. I hope you have watched the previous video in this series on GBV so that you get a better understanding. If you haven't, not to worry, simply click the link below and you will be able to access the content. As usual, if you like these videos, please share and subscribe to this channel for more health education for you and your family. Once again, let's keep the discussion going through the comment section below. Share your thoughts or questions freely and we will get back to you. Today's subtopic in this series is the types of GBV. Remember from our previous video, we talked about the definitions. Specifically, the definition of the phrase gender-based violence, commonly referred to as GBV. There are four main types of GBV. We are going to look into the definition of each and list examples under them. I will also answer any questions coming through about this topic so that you and your family can get a better understanding. The first type is sexual abuse or assault. By definition, sexual assault or abuse is the involvement of a person in sexual activity that he or she does not agree to. It is a violation of the person's right to choose or say no to participation in the act. It doesn't matter the relationship between the person refusing and the person insisting and or coercing them. As long as one of them does not want participation or involvement, it becomes sexual abuse. Examples include touching without consent, rape, attempted rape, gang rape, defilement, sodomy, child prostitution, child trafficking for sex, prostitution with persons with mental disabilities, child pornography, indecent assault, incest, exploitation of prostitution, administering substances with intent, deliberate transmission of sexually transmitted diseases, and harmful practices such as female genital mutilation. If any of the above terms is unclear to you, just type it in the chat box and ask your question. I will get back. Sexual assault is very common, but people don't talk about it much because of the associated fears or stigma. Most times, the perpetrators are people who are known to victims or are in some kind of relationship with them. Particularly, in the case of children, it is rare that their abusers will be strangers. Let's move to the second type of GBV, and that is emotional or psychological abuse. By definition, this form of violence causes the victim mental or emotional trauma, including panic, anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, or even triggering underlying conditions such as bipolar and schizophrenia. The perpetrator does not need to have physical contact to execute this kind of abuse on his or her victim. A lot of times, the perpetrators in this type of abuse have narcissistic tendencies or personalities, and the victims will usually be empaths who trust and do not suspect abuse until the effects are apparent. Some victims are not even allowed to socialize freely without interference from the perpetrator. Examples of this form of violence include ridicule, mockery, name-calling, and any form of gaslighting, which leads the victim to doubt themselves constantly. Now, to the third type of abuse, physical abuse. This is the most commonly talked about because it is rather obvious. For most communities, other forms of abuse may not get much attention because they are less visible to the observers, and sometimes even the victims don't know they are undergoing abuse. This particular type of abuse, however, is rather obvious because physical contact inflicting pain will often happen. It can lead to injuries or disabilities. Different parts of the body may be involved, and for some perpetrators, they are careful to hurt their victim in parts of the body that are usually covered in clothing. Last but not least is the economic abuse. It is defined as one person, the perpetrator, taking control over another person's, that is the victim's, access to economic resources. Hence, reducing the victim's ability to support themselves and forcing them to depend on the perpetrator financially. It also includes the control of the victim's earning potential by preventing them from getting education or jobs or business opportunities. Economic abuse is most commonly perpetrated by intimate partners, and it is difficult to know because often victims are afraid of the consequences from their partner. Therefore, they don't talk about it much. Some victims don't even know that it is a form of abuse because the perpetrators are smart enough to manipulate them into thinking that they are doing the right thing. As I conclude this video today, I realize that some of the terms might be new to you and may require further discussion. Feel free to hit the link below and leave your questions or comments, and let's keep talking. Remember, good health is the secret to thriving in any milestone. Until next time, stay safe and do not accept to remain silent about GBV. You could save a life by talking. Like, share, and subscribe for more health education for you and your family.